Good morning, everybody. Thank you for arriving. Sunday morning yoga with Roham. Always listen to your body, doing as much or as little as you want during the class. The hardest part about our practice of yoga is taking the time out of our day to unfold the mat. Let's meet in a child's pose. Get the toes to touch and set the knees to the edges of your mat. Begin to settle your hips towards your heels, resting your forehead to the floor. Let's take a couple really deep breaths. Inhale more air than you think is necessary, and exhale it all out. Do that once more. Full lungs. You roll your forehead a couple times. Just kind of a reset. Straightening your arms, spreading your fingers. Let's meet in a tabletop position for some cat-cow. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Don't move your arms or legs backwards or forwards. This is a middle, lower, upper spinal movements only. Inhale, lowering the spine, lifting the tailbone and gaze. Exhale, press the mat away. Draw the belly up against the spine and diaphragm. Inhale, lower the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale. Draw the belly tight. Tailbone tuck, chin tuck. Inhale. Lungs full. Exhale. Arc the spine like an angry cat. 2 more. Spine just below the shoulder blades. And exhale, press that spine up higher than the shoulder blades. Do a couple side to side cat-cows. Maybe scrape the edges of the jar with your bottom rib. Let's meet in a downward dog shape, everybody. Tuck your toes, press your hips up, heels down. Heels don't have to touch the floor. Knees don't have to be straight. Eventually, the tips of your biceps will line up to the tips of the ears, and the creases of the elbow will face the ceiling. They call this a resting posture, and it can take a very long time for it to feel anything like a rest. Let's go ahead and find a ragdoll. Walk your hands back or your feet forward. Grab hold of your elbows. Relax your neck again. Sway a little bit. If you're new to the practice, you sit often, creating tight hamstrings, you have low back problems, you might modify like this. Just taking the pressure off that low back. We're here to heal ourselves. Building the strength and flexibility over time that will keep us a little more mobile into our older ages. When you're ready, release your grip, heel toe your feet together, keep the knees bent. Let's start to rise. Lower, middle, upper spine. Great job. Okay. Do a few sun salutations to start to warm up from the inside out. Have a wonderful class, everybody. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Let's do the next 3 back to back. Bend your knees, look forward, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Knees down if you want. Cobra up dog. Down dog. Step or jump forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Down dog. Let's go ahead. One more. Step or jump. Inhale, straight spine and legs. Exhale, fold, relax the neck. Inhale, gather energy, lift front of pelvis, start tailbone down. Exhale, fold. Half lift, step or jump back and lower. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Okay. The purpose of the sun salutations is just to get the blood flowing, the ligaments nice and filled with moisture. Bend your knees, look forward. Sun bees, step or jump. Half lift, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Let's find chair pose. Toes are lifted. Shoulders draw down. Arms can straighten even if it's a Y shape. Test your limits of balance by drawing the knees away from the top of the mat. And exhaling deeper into that chair. One more big breath. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale. Cobra up dog. Down dog. Warrior one. Inhale, right leg forward and rise. Let's find a warrior two. Exhale for the transition. Right knee must be stacked. Widen stance, bending more. Warrior of peace. Keep that right shoulder blade drawing down. Keep that right knee moving to the right. Inhale. All the way down. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Left foot through. Warrior two. Keep that left knee moving to the left. Try to lift the front of the pelvis, lining the spine up vertically. Warrior of peace, inhaling that left arm up, ballooning the ribs. One more big breath. Let it go high to low. Down dog. Let's do that sequence once more. Step or jump. Half lift. Fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Half lift. And lower. Cobra. Down dog. Warrior one. Warrior two. Warrior of peace. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Left foot through. Open up. Great job. Take that bonus breath if you ever need it. Don't cut yourself out of oxygen or short on oxygen. Don't try to rush through the movements, just to connect movement with breath. Okay. Right foot through, pyramid. 10 toes face the front of the mat. Feet on railroad tracks. If you can't get your hands to the floor, put your hands on blocks or on the shin. But begin to lift that chest so you feel the lengthening down the back of the right thigh, lengthening your hamstring. The hips are square to the top of the mat, the weight's equal in your feet. I want to start to lengthen down that right thigh. Creases of the elbows face the front of your mat. Inhale, slight lift. Exhale, deepen. Breathe here, everybody. Let's take our time to find a revolved straight leg triangle. Parvrita Utthita Trikonasana. Left hand just below the knee. Straighten the spine. Start to open the chest. You might have that left hand on a block or book or chair. This is a lower middle upper twist, an opening of the chest. This is not a twisting that lower spine and putting compression into our lower vertebrae. You might remove that weight from that left hand if you're using your core for this. You might inhale that right arm up. Take 3 more breaths in that position. Always welcome to back out a little early if you need. We'll turn that into a triangle. It's a bit of a foot reset. Left foot 45 degrees, heels in one line. Probably going to get a bit higher for most of us as you build your hamstring flexibility, hamstring and hip flexibility. You want that right hip to move back, moving that left hip forward, okay? This is again going to help us to protect that low spine as you lay your belly on a tabletop. Place your hand down for support. And again, middle upper twist. Opening the chest. Laying the shoulders and the right hip against the wall behind you. Only taking the weight off of that right hand if you're using your core, been practicing for a while. Have freed yourself of low back injuries. Otherwise, you're keeping that hand on support to protect that low back as you work into the flexibility and core needed to sustain these positions through an active and consistent yoga practice. When you're ready, let's take it into a pigeon, nice and early on the class. Lining your right thigh up to the edge of the mat. And setting a block, book, bolster, or blanket under the right hip if it's not on the floor. Don't worry about squaring your right shin to the top of the mat. Worry about laying your right femur and sit bone to the mat or onto a support. If your femur is still lining up to the edge of the mat, you're resting down upon the earth or support. Then you can worry about squaring that right shin to the top of the mat. Quite often that left hip will be lifting to accommodate what you might think is a better form, but I want that left hip to move in a downward direction. As you begin to unlock the right hip, moving the femur away from the hip socket. Breathing into that right femur. Try to make sure that left foot sickles, neither sickles left nor right, just goes straight back. And you're on the center of your kneecap, of your left kneecap. Not collapsing into the shoulders. I want you to learn to wrap the shoulders around the chest using those pec minor and chest muscles. And relax into that right hip. If you're new to the practice of yoga and you're wondering what frequency you should be practicing, it is 5 to 7 days a week for an entire year. But that's not hard practices. Those are varied practices based upon your body's ability on that particular day. So even if you practice some hard classes for a number of days and your body needs a rest, you should still get onto that mat and practice, but a softer practice. Maybe one that is more yin based or a combination of yin and yang, kind of what we're doing today. Okay, let's get into a downward dog position. Let's repeat that small, simple sequence with the other leg. Pyramid, Parvattanasana. Left foot forward, stepping just behind that left wrist. 10 toes facing the front of the mat, and your feet are not on a tight rope. They're on railroad tracks. Don't claw the mat with your toes. So begin to spread the bones of the feet apart, spread the toes apart, and root down into the earth with all four corners of both feet. This is a little bit hip flexibility, but mostly digging into that left hamstring. Keep the shoulder blades drawing down so you got space for the neck, space to lift that chest. Hands are on chair, blocks, shin, thigh. Worry more about straight spine. Begin to move deeper as you lay your belly, chest, and forehead down on that left leg. Breathing as you move deeper into this position. Lengthen down that left thigh. Your hips are square to the top edge of your mat, so you're not like this. Try to square. Weight's equal in your feet. When you're ready, we're going to transition this into a revolved straight leg triangle. Most of us, like 90 or 99% of us, are going to get much higher. Straightening that spine, so we're learning how we can protect that low back, we can build some core, and we can concentrate on a middle upper twist, a chest opener, instead of just cranking into that low back, trying to twist deeper. Keep that left hip moving away from the top edge of the mat. Clawing the mat with your toes. Big toe mounds can get additional pressure. Some of us might be lifting that left arm up. 3 breaths. Always leave early if you need. Back out a little if you need. It's both are perfectly fine. Ride your breath into your straight leg triangle. Again, most of us are going to get higher. Don't put pressure on that low back. Use the strength of your arms with some weight on your shin or thigh to protect your low back. Heels in one line, right foot 45. We're going to make some space for the low back by moving the left hip back, right hip forward. Tighten that belly down to protect your low back and lay the straight spine over a tabletop. So you're starting to get into the hamstring here if you're really straightening that spine. Ride your breath into the postures. Lengthen both sides of the body in this posture by moving your left hip away from the top of the mat. Balloon those ribs with those deep inhales. Activate the fingers and the toes. Press your hips to the side wall. You can do this. When you're ready, we're finding that pigeon. Take your time. Maybe you're enjoying that. Maybe you aren't ready for pigeon. Stay there. I'm just here to guide you. You are here to do what your body needs best. So you really want to ensure that left hip and sit bone is on the mat. Take a moment. Melt into the floor. This is making sense. You might start to square the shin with the top edge of the mat, but a tight hip can put unnecessary strain on your knee, especially if you're not careful. For example, keep your toes active, helping to gauge the muscles around the knee, making it harder to tweak your knee. Don't go deeper into any hip opening postures than what is comfortable. The secret, again, isn't pushing hard during your practice. It is practicing often, getting small gains continuously and seeing huge gains over longer periods of time. Once you've practiced 5 to 7 days a week for an entire year, then you can begin moderating and kind of maintaining your practice with less physical practices, but more meditative practices. So although you might transition from a physical yoga practice towards a meditative, or as you transition away from physical yoga practice, you should fill those additional days with silence, time to think. Keep that right hip moving down. Center right knee on the mat. Try not to sickle the right toes. Don't sink into that low back, middle shoulders. Wrap shoulder, round chest. When you're ready, let's get out of this position. Back to your downward dog shape. You can take your time. It doesn't have to be one fluid movement, although it could be. Okay. Warrior one with eagle arms. Right foot through. Left foot 45. Inhale to rise. Let's get that left arm under the right, interlacing your fingers or grabbing your wrists. Elbows are shoulder height or higher, and the forearms are square to the wall in front of you. Inhale, lifting the front of the pelvis. Exhale, bending the knee, widening the stance. Keep those elbows moving away from the shoulders as you unlock the shoulders. You might relax your forehead into the forearms. Vision's blocked by the forearms. You're using strength from the feet to rip that mat in half. So you're nice and active. This is a warrior stance. When you're ready, unwind into warrior two with archer arms. Inhale, left arm up. Get that right arm under. Try to get a hold of your hands or a strap or your shirt. During my over 10 years of practicing yoga, there was a time where I was able to clasp my hands through a continuous, constant practice of yoga. Came out of nowhere and it went back to nowhere. So without a consistent daily practice, your gains will sometimes go away, and that's okay. This is the roller coaster of life as you continue to evolve and move to those older states of existence. When you're ready, we'll take this into head to ankle prep. So warrior two stance, left hand underneath your face. Place that heel of right hand to the inside of the thigh, not the top, and not on the knee. Inside of the thigh, heel of hand close to crease of hip. Inhale and straighten that right arm. Balloon the ribs and straighten that right arm. So you're creating as much space as you need in the right side of the body in order that that right arm does straighten. Straighten that arm. Right arm must straighten. Balloon. Move that right body away from the thigh. Move that thigh away from the body. When you're ready, you can take it to vinyasa, so high to low plank, up dog, down dog. High to low plank, cobra. Down dog. Warrior one, eagle arms, left foot through lightly. Inhale to rise. Heels might be in one line. Right arm under the left. Grab a hold of your wrists or interlace your fingers. Swing your shoulders and pelvis to the top edge of the mat. Elbow shoulder height or higher. Exhale your forehead into your forearms. Inhale across the upper back. Exhale, elbows away from shoulders. Breathe here, everybody. Shoulder mobility is so important. We spend a lot of our day hunching forward, driving, eating, texting, sleeping in a ball. So you begin to learn how to open the shoulders up in both directions and begin to relax the shoulders back and down in your life. Making you stand taller, stronger. When you're ready, take time to open into warrior two. No one's rushing you. Ride your breath through the postures. Right arm up. So from warrior two, we're going to archer warrior. Stringing that bow. Again, true story. I wasn't able to clasp my hands after many moons of practice. But the gains are always there. They come and go as you travel down the path of life. So beginning to get some shoulder mobility back on both sides, right? Forward and back, up and down. It's hard in Warrior 2, but try to worry about straight spine. Lift the pelvis. When you're ready, exhale, right arm under your face for head to ankle prep. Left hand on the inside of the left thigh. And bring that left hand closer to the crease of the hip. Inhale first. Exhale, straighten the arm. Move the torso away from the thigh. Move the thigh. Away from the torso, you must straighten that arm. We're learning how we unlock that head. You might have your right hand on the block, chair. Don't have to be this low. Slowly let it go. High to low plank. Cobra or up dog. Stay here for a cobra. Hands under the shoulders, tops of fingers line up to tops of shoulders, tops of feet to the mat. Lift the knees by pressing your feet down. Breathe here, everybody. No weight in the hands. You're using middle upper back strength. And your breath to ever so slightly lift higher. Let's take it into locust. Reach your arms back. You can interlace your fingers behind your back if you want. If that's hard to do, interlace your fingers. If that's hard to do, grab a strap. Okay, let's rise locust. Legs are up, toes are pointed. Might get those heels of the hands to touch. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Thumb off your back. We'll take that into airplane, spreading your wings. So 45 degrees. Come on up. And release. We'll take that into floor bow, grabbing the ankles. Come on up. If floor bow's hard, you do airplane. You do cobra. If airplane's hard, you do cobra. If locust's hard. Slowly release. Meet in the middle of your mat. So it's important to remember that all of these postures that we do, whether you realize it or not, are micro progressions to the deeper expressions of all of the same postures. Okay. Camel. 6 inches between the knees and ankles. That's 2 fists. You can put extra padding down on the knees. Tops of the feet down. Thumbs in, fingers out. Inhale, lifting the front of the pelvis. Exhale, press your hips forward. Your hands are there for support. This is a lift of the chest to the ceiling. Middle upper spine, back bending. Lengthening of the psoas. And maybe eventually a bit of a lower back bend. Lengthening of the front body from belly button to chin. Don't just drop that head back, right? You're protecting the neck. The full expression would be to gently rest your head back if your hands are on your heels. Inhaling, lifting the chest up and pushing the feet down on the exhales. Inhale, lift the chest up and push the hips forward on the exhales. Perfect. Right leg forward, left leg in. Janusarasana. By moving your shoulders towards your right foot a couple times, you're also helping to square the hips. So now, again, digging into that hamstring, almost like the start of the class. Inhale, lift of the chest. Exhale, bring the belly towards the thigh. If your belly's resting on the thigh and you feel that lengthening down the right hamstring, keeping that spine straight, then you move a bit deeper. Some of us have the belly on the thigh, the chest on the knees, and you're lengthening down that shin, getting the forehead as close to the foot as you can. You might interlace the fingers around the sole of your foot. Thumbs stay underneath the foot. And breathe here. Keep those elbows pointing to the floor, not to the sides of the room. Slowly switching sides. When I begin to release the posture, that doesn't mean you have to release right away. You might be enjoying that. Maybe you want to move a little deeper. Maybe you're going to play this class always a posture behind me. So shoulders begin to square to that left foot. Inhale, lift of the chest. Hands frame that calf. Again, you might have a hold of that foot, but get those elbows to point to the floor. Keep the shoulder blades drawing away from the ears. You've got to keep that space open to breathe. Slowly rise. Let's do wide leg forward fold. So both legs apart as much as you can. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, move the belly towards the floor. So we are looking for more support on our YouTube journey online. So if you're enjoying the class, please like and share as much as you can. All of our videos are also being automatically uploaded to an alternative platform called Odyssey, Odyssee. So you can always check us out on that platform. That platform, Odyssey, has no owners. So it's a crowd networked kind of video sharing platform. So no big tech owning the platform, which makes it a great alternative in the future. When you're ready, I'm going to slowly come up. Okay, bridge your wheel, a bit of core, and we'll finish that class off. Reposition my mat for you guys. Okay. bridge. Heels under knees. Try to brush those heels with the middle finger. So they're closer than you think they need to be. Knuckles down, palms face the ceiling. Press top rim of sacrum down, feel tailbone lift, then lift top rim of sacrum and lower middle back, keeping the psoas engaged, so lengthening of the front body. Lift the toes, spread the toes apart. Relax your shoulders and your jaw, watching the belly rise and fall with your deep breath. Leg strength, gluteus maximus strength. Keep those hips higher than you think is necessary. Relax your shoulders. Stay up higher and breathe deeper. Long, deep breaths. Belly rise and fall. Slowly release. Feet together, knees apart. Hand on the belly and the heart. Do the exact same thing a second time, or do a full wheel. If you don't know what wheel is, then do the same posture we just completed. 5 to 6 breaths. Whenever you're ready, you're welcome to lower down. Maybe you already did. Maybe you're still up. A little bit of core work. Interlace your fingers underneath your head. You're not pulling on your neck. You're resting your head into the cradle of your hands. Knees over the hips, heels just below the knee line. Inhale, shoulders, shoulder blades lift up. Keep your lungs full. Keep your right knee over top your right hip. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Point towards the right knee. Pull the belly down. Curl the tailbone up. Inhale, center. Hold your lungs full. Press top rim of sacrum down. Keep your shoulders higher. Exhale, point to the left. Straighten the right leg. Spread the toes. Curl the tailbone. Lift the left shoulder blade. Inhale, center. Hold your lungs full. Press top rim of sacrum down. Shoulder blades higher. Exhale, point to the right. Straighten the left leg. Left heel 3 feet from the floor. Pull belly down. Hold lungs empty. Inhale, center. Hold lungs full. Press top rim of sacrum down. Keep your shoulders up higher. Exhale, point to the left, straighten the right. Spread the toes. Curl the tailbone. Keep the right knee over the hip, but lift your right shoulder more, left shoulder more. Inhale, center. One more round. Hold lungs full, press top rim of sacrum down. Exhale, pointing to the left, straighten the right. Do the opposite if you did. Perfect. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite. Pull belly down, spread toes, lift shoulder, inhale center, exhale release. Bridge. Boat pose, Navasana. Inhale, a bit of lengthening. Don't jerk your way up. Use your hands to help. Hands are there for support. As you work flexibility and core strength, you'll be able to let go of the hands but maintain that position. If you want to work harder than this, straighten the legs, but don't change the position. Oh boy, maybe get a hold of those big toes into pike pose. So belly on thighs, lengthening with the spine, lifting of the chest. When you're ready, signature canoe. Stay there, canoes, and release. Windshield wiper the knees, left and right. Feet are hip width apart. Keep your hips down. Just beginning to release any of that low back tension or compression that we might have inadvertently caused. Okay. Final Shavasana, everybody. You're working compressions and extensions throughout the class, all of which slow down the blood in the body in various colorful ways. The Shavasana at the end is not just to release any knots in the mind, but it's also to release any compressions in the body. Just begin to allow everything to normalize and equalize. You'll feel the blood going to make contact with cells in the body that they haven't been in contact with in a very long time. As you force fresh blood between the organs, as you force fresh blood to all of your veins and arteries, as you just bask in being human, absorbing the benefits of your hard work, your dedication. The hardest part of our practice is getting on the mat. And it's hard up until the very second you start your practice. And maybe it's difficult for the entire time during your practice. But at the end, you will never regret your decision having practiced on this day. Move your fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Exhale to your left side. Full body reset in a little bit under 1/24 of your day. Come up to seated position. Yeah, it's hard to get on that mat, but boy, does it feel good when we get it done. Thank you for joining me. Share, like, and subscribe. Namaste, everybody.